what did you know about South Carolina before we did this trip?
I knew that there was Charleston, which was a city. Like, I didn't think that it was anything that it like it was at all. I thought it was so beautiful, and I didn't really expect it to be like as amazing.
I knew that it was like down south and it was country.
I've been here a few times for vacation, so I've really only seen like the places that are really high in tourist population. In terms of like the people here, I feel like given its history with like slavery and racism, that kind of placed like stereotypes in my mind.
Kind of assumed that everybody would be so different from me, but what I found out when I got here was that most of them, all of them were literally just like me, and also they were very, very polite and nice and kind.
What did you learn about South Carolina from this trip?
My biggest takeaways was just like the hardworking people. Like, we talked to so many farmers and also people in the military, and like what I gathered from the state is just like the grit of like the people and how their like aspiration, I guess, is just to serve their country, which is something that I don't see in New York as much. So I thought it was like super inspiring to see people like care so much about their country and wanting to serve, like either through agriculture or like through like actually serving like in the military.
Most of the people we met rely like on faith to get them through hard times. Bella and I are doing a podcast and about the people we meet. Most of the people we asked what gets you through hard times, most of the answers were, oh, my faith, my religion, my beliefs, you know? And I think that I learned that, like, just like people where I live in New York or Brooklyn, they all have kind of the same core values and morals.
I definitely learned a lot about farming. I didn't really think of farming at all before. Like, I don't really think about where I source my produce or like what's coming from the grocery stores. And when we went to Mrs. Fields or Celeste, I just like it made it like so much more human, I guess, in a way. Like, there's like real people out here with this as their job, and the fact that they have to go through harvests and sometimes it might just not be good. Like, their like job is very much, it's like they're rolling an 8-ball and they're just trying to find out what's gonna happen. And I don't know, it's just like a completely different world to experience, especially with the School of Agriculture. It's just like, this is like something people really invest time in, and I just really didn't think about that living in New York, because that's not common at all. And then military, just like seeing it in real life, like just like people like dedicating their lives.
I learned that everyone like has different values because of like their situations or where they live. There's a lot more hustle down here. Like, there's a lot more hard work, but it feels like it's less rewarding for like farmers.
I've learned a lot. I feel like my friend Ruby and I are making a podcast, and so we've gotten the opportunity to talk to a lot of people, and also on the trip you have dinner with so many different families, and just talking to people, and like whether it be casual conversation or deep conversation on how they live their lives is very enlightening, because everyone lives their life in such different ways, and like culturally you don't notice the bubble you're in. Like, just making casual conversation and like everyone being so nice, and there's so many different like cultural things that I don't have, like that is really strong here. Like, there's a strong Christian community, which I'm not religious, and seeing how that affects and motivates people in their everyday life is really intriguing.
I think what stood out to me was like the farmers and just how much they like truly love their job, and even when it's tough for them, they don't have a bad year. I mean, we met a lot of farmers, and some of them didn't have good years, and I think just seeing how much they truly love their job, it helps me gain a lot of respect for them. And I think just like seeing that, it helps me learn how like compassionate they are, to just keep striving for what they love.
I just really saw all like the rural parts of South Carolina. I didn't think that there was much of that. I've only really been to Charleston before, which is a big city, and that was just really eye-opening to see all of the small businesses and the farm owners that kind of stuff.
What did you have like a memorable or favorite part to the South Carolina portion of our trip?
My favorite part was probably like what we did today. So today we went to Cracker Barrel. Like last night we went to Cracker Barrel and we talked to a family from the military whose the dad works in the military. And then tonight we talked with a bunch of like students who just like are kids from South Carolina that are like from the local high schools. That was definitely my favorite part, probably, just because like, again, like my preconceptions of like kids it's just like so different, and like it's like so relaxing to be able to like laugh and like have like normal discussions about like Love Island or like shows that are like like I didn't know were as like universal, and like I thought people were so different, but they're like really not. So it just kind of made me think about like we're all so similar, but it was so interesting to kind of hear like the, I guess, culture shocks. Like we talked about, like the girl who I was talking to tonight, she like goes to church every single Sunday, and like I don't even know one person that goes to church every single Sunday.
I think my favorite part was meeting people and interviewing them and learning about their lives and their experiences. Specifically, we met this really cute old woman, and I forgot her name. Sally, and she was just the most energetic person I think I've ever met. And she was, even though like we didn't really plan on meeting her, it was kind of just a chance meeting, but she just started talking to us, and she was so charismatic and so lively. Now that I've experienced so many people and I've met so many amazing people, I definitely have a different perception of people living in the South.
I'd say my favorite part was definitely like going to the farm with Celeste, and basically because my mom is very much into like holistic health, and what she tells me I kind of disregard at times, and I kind of say like, Mom, that's not true, like come on, like let's be so for real. But Celeste was like, her growing up on the farm, it's very much like she doesn't believe that much in pharmaceuticals, and she thinks that food is healing, and like we don't really think about that part of farming.
My favorite part was probably the food. I really like the food. I like the mac and cheese is good. I love barbecue food. I like, even though it's really heavy, it still tastes really good. And also meeting like different people and like understanding their way of life and why they live that way, and what they think about us, like how we like, if like many people stereotype people from the South, they also have stereotypes for us, but like it's not really always true. And now like we kind of talk about those differences.
When we had dinner at Mrs. Field's house on a farm, and we like kind of made our own food, and it was like Southern meal, I think that was one of my favorite moments of the trip, because Mrs. Fields herself is a person who lives by giving more than receiving, and I think that's a very special thing. Like lots of people say they want to be a good person, but to actually like do better and not expect anything in return like is something that is not done because it's so hard. And she truly is just such a good person, and she also lives her life so differently than me and the people that I surround myself with. The people that we've talked to, like the glimpses of joy, happiness, and love that they experience, it's really refreshing to like take a step back and see that not everything has to be like super amplified, because that's something I live in. I don't know if it's just a New York thing, but that's something that my brain, like I don't think my nervous system is as calmed out as it's supposed to be, but like a Southern way is taking a step back and being slow and finding like the nice things in life, and that's definitely been very, very good for me to see and experience.
I really like the Gullah Geechee cooking class because I feel like just understanding that, like, that culture kind of comes from just like Africans who moved in like very early on, like a long time ago. I really love like the storytelling aspect and just how they like kept customs and like remained to like keep their values and like just have those beliefs and just continue like carrying on like their past.
The cooking classes, because just learning about Mrs. Fields and Regina, like it was just really fun, and all of their culture was really cool. And then also having a dinner with one of the local people. it felt like we were almost a big family, and it was so fun, and they were really nice.
Going to the Fields farm, that was probably the nicest part. Like the cooking and the culture, and just seeing like where our food comes from and like how it like works.
To go back to the very beginning of the trip when we were in Washington, D.C., did you have any favorite or memorable part of that?
It was just so cool to be able to like just talk. So we talked with like the staff from like multiple like senators, and it was so cool to kind of hear like how much work like 25 and below like people are doing, and it's like amazing like how hard they work. So just like kind of speaking to them, and it was also really cool to see how like the senator like buildings, they all like every single office was like a different state, and like I had no idea that's how it worked. And so like right next to Texas there's like New York, so like the New York senator is like right next to the Texas senator, so like they like can say hi, they get like a cup of coffee, like they could get like a cup of coffee, and like I had no idea that it worked like that. And then like the North Carolina door had like sweet potato chips or something. Like it's so cute.
I think meeting the representative of the New Jersey senator was really not, I think eye-opening in a way. He didn't just do his job just to like have a government position. He did his job because he genuinely enjoyed it so much. And again, that relates to the lawyer we met from Department of Justice. He could be making like so much more money, but he chooses to stay in his position because he loves his job so much. And I think it is really eye-opening, and it's kind of debates my preconceived notion that money is, I don't think money is everything, but I think money is super, super important. And now like seeing all of these people who do their job because they love it so much, it kind of like changed my opinion. And you know, now I don't think, oh, money is so important.
I kind of just love the whole thing. I love politics in general. Like after taking a class at my school, I became like very interested in like political science, and her ideology was that you can make the better through politics. And I know politics is usually looked at with a negative connotation, and what we saw as a common theme through all of the politicians is that in their own ways, they're trying to make our union better.
Yeah, I just found it cool how when we're going to the meetings, we're just like passing by people who are like so involved in our life and the government, seeing them at lunch doing like regular things like other people do at work, and also like seeing those connections, how they have to talk to everyone to like get what they want done, or like to make agreements with each other.
We talked to a lawyer, Malcolm Stewart, for the Department of Justice, and kind of relating to what I was talking about, he doesn't live his life like attempting to be something great. He lives his life for himself, and he follows his passions. And especially like being so young and being at a hard school and being focused on college, you kind of like label yourself as the outcome of your actions instead of appreciating your actions. Like grades can be so branding, and like just being a teenager, you're so focused on the future that it's hard to like appreciate the present. And he lives his life because he's passionate about what he does, and he's so accomplished, and he has so many different opportunities to make so much money. He really is doing what he loves because he loves it.
I really liked the touring the Library of Congress, behind the scenes, because there were so many jobs. We went in a laboratory kind of, and there were so many jobs that you would never think even existed, and it's awesome to see just how much people really dig into their jobs, and how much information by the government is truly collected. And then you ask them kind of why they need that, and the truth is they don't know what the future is going to hold, and the future may need they need certain information for future reference. So they kind of just hold everything to like keep it together for what they need. So I thought that was really interesting.
When like I look at the government and I see like senators and like our Congress people, like I never realized how many like intricate jobs there are like within them.
Eating in the Capitol, I thought that was so cool. Like, just like you could see like how like busy everyone was, but how they wanted to like take time away from their office and speak to their friends at that one sandwich shop. That was so cool.
And like, what would you say to any students next year or who are considering the trip?
Before, when I would see people wearing like MAGA hats, like in New York, like I would get so like emotional. But I think this trip has like definitely made me like see like just a different side to those people, and it just made me like kind of humanize like everyone, and not even MAGA people, just people in the South who I just didn't know about. And also like the friendships that I've made on this trip have been like so nice. Like me and Sasha, like we are friendly, but like not close at all. And like we've gotten like so close on this trip.
I would say that, well, first of all, you should definitely do it because it was despite the really hot weather, it was so fun, and just being around this group of people who all of the people I've met, like I had a friend coming onto the trip, and there were 2 people from my school that I didn't know that well that now I'm like friends with, and also the 4 people from New Jersey that I had never even met. Now we're all so close, and I've learned about their lives, I've learned about their experiences, and I've met so many people that I don't think I would have become friends with. I've learned things that I don't, because firsthand experience is it's worth so much. And so I've learned things that I probably would have never even picked up, even if I just researched it online or something like that, you know?
You make such good friends and you have like a very like fun experience while also like learning. And I think that this trip did a really good job of combining the two together, both making it like hands-on and us wanting to learn. Like we're always excited for the next day, even though we were getting up at like 6:30 sometimes. Like it was just always like you want to be here and you want to learn, and I feel like that's how learning should be. Like it shouldn't be a boring classroom lecture where someone's just like talking at you and you're not absorbing anything. This is just genuinely immersive, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just like inspiring, I guess.
You're never gonna see these people again probably, and it's like really cool to learn about their way of life and like what they think about us.
To just understand the ways that people live their life is something that people should appreciate more, because it not only reminds you what America as a whole needs and wants, and reminds you to stay educated, that not everyone is in the position you're in, but it also provides insight on like the different lives you can live. Like you're not stuck in one place. The world is so big and there's so many different ways of life.
Come in with a very like open mind and aim to like understand why different values may be important in different places, and just beliefs may alter throughout the country because like there's different lives, and even though there's different lives, there's a lot of similarity too. But I just think coming in with an open mind is extremely important.
I feel not just like smarter, but like more educated on our country, and like obviously there's like vacation opportunities to like different countries within our schools, but like just like learning more about our country, I think will make you overall like more well-rounded.
But I thought that was very cool. Like it kind of like changed our perspective on people.